Hello, it's Judith here with this week's video. And this week I'm going to talk about a very specific kind of negative thoughts, and that is the self-critical ones. So let's first of all think about negative thoughts in general. They can be about anything. So about something that you've done in the past, about something you're afraid is going to happen in the future, or whatever. And the reason they're not good is that using the basic CBT model, what we're thinking influences what we're feeling, and what we're feeling influences our behavior, and in turn our behavior influences our thoughts. So it's very easy to get into a downward spiral based upon negative thoughts, driving negative feelings and various types of behavior related to those negative feelings, which then makes our negative thoughts even worse. So that's the sort of basic negative thought. But what we're going to talk about today is the ones that are negative thoughts directed at ourselves. Thoughts that are very critical, thoughts that look out for the tiniest little thing that we've done wrong or the mistake we've made. It could be what you've said, what you've done, what you've written. And basically, we're beating ourselves up inside our head. And same cycle. So if you're continually telling yourself you're useless, you're no good, you get things wrong all the time, etc., 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 what are your feelings going to be? Well, you'll have very poor feelings about yourself. You'll have low self-esteem, low confidence, and that just drives your behavior. So you will not think you're able to do things that you are absolutely capable of doing. You will not think that people like you, and therefore you may withdraw from social activity. The range of things that you can do as a result of beating yourself up inside your own head is too big to go through, which is scary. So the two analogies I use are, if you're a parent and obviously you have a child or more than one, would you continually, day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, tell them how dreadful they were? Would you continually tell them what they got wrong, how bad they were, how naughty they were, how nobody liked them, etc., etc., etc.? Well, if your answer to that is yes, I suggest you get help very, very quickly. But I suspect that the answer to that is very much no, you wouldn't. Obviously, you need to pick up on the things that need to be picked up, but you will do so in a kind and loving way. And you will praise them as often as you can to develop their self-esteem and their confidence and make them feel good about themselves. In fact, I have frequently said, so you may have heard this before, you wouldn't talk to another human being the way you talk to yourself in your own head. You know, you would spot a friend who was continually doing this and say, you know, do you understand what this is doing to you? Before I started all the training that led to what I'm doing now, one of the people that helped me into the very first thing I did, which was my NLP training, said to me one day, and she was a work colleague, but also a friend, and she said to me one day, do you realise how often you call yourself stupid? And I, who knew no better in those days, said, well, I don't really mean it. You know, it's just a joke when I drop something or get something wrong or go to fetch something and don't bring it back. I said, it's just a joke with myself. And she said, no, it's not. No, it's not. If you call yourself stupid on a regular basis, guess how you feel about yourself. You feel you're stupid, and guess what that does to your behaviour, etc., etc. So I began consciously to note when I did it and to stop myself doing it. And that's what you need to do. If you are aware that you are being overly critical to yourself, then you need to take some action. If you're not aware, then it's worth just doing a check. If you're saying lots of nice things to yourself, then I am really, really pleased. But if you are being very negative about yourself, to yourself, then you need to do the same, which is start to at least become aware of what. I had no idea that I was calling myself stupid, and I just made up an answer when I was asked, which was, well, it's just a joke. So first of all, become aware of them and become aware of their power. And then, as with all negative thoughts, you can start to change them. Now, if it's something you don't want to do at all and you can't think of an alternative to, you can just tell yourself to stop, literally. And that's what I did with, no, stop, that's not true. So I did add a phrase to it, okay? And you can't do them all at once, so go for the one that you believe is most damaging and decide how you would like to rephrase that. And you can use the stop or not, whichever way. Maybe if you want to be really kind to yourself, don't use the stop. And just think of something else you can say. So if you're continually telling yourself you can't do something, just remind yourself that you have done it in the past and it worked out okay. So you can do it again, referencing a past experience. If you're continually telling yourself that people don't like you, make a list of your friends, the people who enjoy being with you. And there will be some, I promise you there will be some. So looking for a more positive alternative to the critical thoughts. And you want to bring those critical thoughts right the way down to zero. Yes, if you do something wrong, make a mistake, then it's a learning opportunity. There's no such thing as failure, only feedback. So what can I learn from this and how can I do it differently? I don't like the way I talked to that person, and I didn't mean to be unkind, but I think I was a little bit brusque or a little bit unhelpful. How would I do it differently next time? And that way you learn and you grow. So gentle baby steps. And exactly the same for you. Just gentle baby steps, turning things around so that you are praising. Do you ever say well done to yourself? I certainly do. If I do, particularly that job that I've been putting off or don't want to do, when I've done it, I will say, well done, excellent. Do you ever look in the mirror and tell yourself you look good? Or do you do the reverse? So look for the negative things you're saying about and try to get rid of them, make them less negative, and ultimately turn them into much more positive things. Praise yourself for what you do well, because you know what would happen to your child if you constantly were beating them up. Not literally, of course, but mentally and emotionally. Why would you do that to yourself? And as always, if you need any help with all of this, please get in touch. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week. And until then, take care.